Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome you all to your July 1st members only live call here with Skyton Academy. If this is your first time on the call, warm welcome. If this is not and you're a veteran, you're an OG, I want you guys inside the chat to make sure everybody feels warmly welcomed and loved. Welcome to the family. We are all one here. All right. So tonight, what I'm going to do is basically, well, let me slow down before I jump into this. So on members only live calls, what we like to do is we just basically address what's going on within the academy. We issue out any updates that we have. We let you guys know if there's anything that's on the horizon that's about to come up, anything important that we want you guys to do. And then we kind of get into what's going on in the state of cryptocurrency or artificial intelligence, wherever we decide to go, right? So it's a no frills, no holds barred. We always just bring value on our live calls. Now, the members only live calls happen once a week. It's every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. What I want you guys to do, whether you're new or old, is make sure you guys connect to the calendar within the portal. All right. And how basically, I don't want to break down and waste too much time because I know there's a lot of people that's here that's been with us. But inside the academy, what you basically would do is you would go to Skyton Academy Enroll and then go to click on events. It's right at the top. Just click on events. That'll take you right to the calendar. And then every time that we have a live call, you guys can see for yourself what we have on the horizon. So if we have a live call for Saturday for AI Visionaries Network, 1%, which is our paid, it's our lifetime membership aspect of Skyton Academy. That's a private group. We have calls normally, they're on Saturday mornings, and we normally do them back to back with an AI Visionaries network call. So we'll have those, you'll see those on the calendar sometimes. And then if we have anything additional that we want to basically break down for you guys, we always have it readily available for you. All right. So first and foremost, I want everybody to make sure you're connected to that calendar. This is very important because what we are going to start doing as well is we're going to start partitioning some of the calls where if we have something for new members enrollment and we may have something for you guys every single month, something along those lines, just to welcome in the new members that come in. We want everybody to feel the same love as our, existing members, but we also understand that we have to bring value to the existing members who've been with us for quite some time. All right. So that's that on that. All right. Glad we took the roll call. Now, what I want to do tonight, right? This is going to be one of these calls where I basically want to show you guys the power of paying attention, being aware, being alert, and then actually having three key components in your life, right? It's going to be knowledge, it's going to be awareness, and it's going to be execution. All right. So let me walk you guys through a couple things that I've noticed. I know that there's going to be a lot of noise that happens inside this space. It is so easy to get distracted. But what I want you guys to do is I want you to stay hyper focused. Steve always tells you guys this, and he's been saying this weekly for the last couple of weeks. Do not take the summer off, right? And this is hyper important. The reason being is because there's a lot of things that's happening in the tech space, whether it involves artificial intelligence, a bunch of Fortune 500 companies, or just cryptocurrency companies themselves, new technologies, new partnerships. And of course, we have regulations that's looming, right? What that's going to do is that's going to bring a lot of eyes and a lot of attention here to the cryptocurrency space and to the tech space. Here at Skyton Academy, not only do we want you guys to learn, we want you guys to be ahead of the curve, and we want you to always know that there is a million opportunities around you, but you have to pay attention. You have to have the foresight and the vision to be able to see it. All right. So I want you guys to take notes and basically ask yourself internally. You don't have to answer this inside the chat, but I want you to ask yourself this question, right? How ready am I to actually use this information to my advantage? And every single one of you guys should definitely have the same basically along the lines of having the same knack, like I'm ready. All right. So first things first. So there was a couple months ago, there was an announcement that Trump came out. This was in March. This is March, I want to say March 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. So he comes out and he's using the platform True Social, right? Now on Truth Social, this is a separate community. It's kind of like a social community, but it's for people who are big on like Trump and what he's doing. Now, he puts out this message about a crypto strategic reserve. Now, if you've been with us, you know that we've covered this, and this is something that we kind of extensively went into, right? We have a crypto in 10 for it. So in the YouTube, you guys can go back to that if you need, all the particulars. If you've never heard about it, we got you guys. I'll drop the link for you inside the chat here. All right. And definitely subscribe to that YouTube. Now, with this reserve, right, Trump signed an executive order that basically created a national crypto strategic reserve. Now, this is fact. This is actually happening. So this is US financial policy at this point. And the breakdown is inside the strategic Bitcoin reserve, you had Bitcoin, which was quote unquote labeled as digital gold, if you will. They officially are going to hold Bitcoin and a couple other crypto assets in the treasury as part of their reserves, right? This is going to be like their hedge against what's going on in the world, from tariffs to just inflation, etc. And then the second part to that was there's a digital asset stockpile. Now, outside of Bitcoin, the Treasury is planning to hold a couple other crypto assets, right? Now, here's the part where I need you guys to really truly pay attention to what's happening and the particulars. So, XRP was one of the assets, Solana, Cardano, and then there was even a meme coin called Pepe that the government said, listen, we've seized these crypto assets, right, through a forfeiture or through other things that was going on, illicit activities, things like that. And because we've already seized them, they're already in our possession. Let's create a digital asset stockpile. So now anybody else who basically gets arrested, who gets caught doing anything illicit from fraud or anything like that, they'll basically already have a stockpile for it, and they're going to continue to add to it. Now, why does this matter to you? Now, the reason is because, again, this is a big signal as a hedge, right? It's about diversification. This statement basically lets everyone know that the United States has like an insurance policy, and they're banking on this new emerging technology and this new asset class, which is cryptocurrency and digital assets, right? And this is going to be their insurance policy against a debt crisis, inflation, anything like that, right? Now, the big thing about this is hugely controversial, right? No other nation around the world really started having a stockpile like this until the United States and Trump sent out this message, right? It almost literally was like a snowball effect, top of the mountain, right? United States had it, Dubai has it. Now there's other countries all around the world who are now starting to do the same thing. Now, the biggest thing with this is people are debating whether this is going to be like a smart thing or it's just reckless, whether it's going to put a whole lot of exposure on us, the taxpayers, right? Because these coins are quote unquote volatile. And the market's first reaction was 100% clear. The prices on all of these cryptos that they named jumped. They skyrocketed, right? Investors realized that the United States is now taking crypto a whole lot more serious than they ever have before. Now, when the United States moves, of course, this means that the rest of the world is going to do the same thing, right? So, as they announced this crypto stockpile and the other nations across the world started doing the same thing, this is when you start to hear this phrase that pops up in my head. And I've been in crypto for 10 years. Steve has been here 10 years as well. All right. So it's called a level playing field. Whenever you hear something start in one location, and then you start to see other nations and other countries start to adopt the same what do you call this? Um, philosophy or ideology, that's when you know that everybody is literally on one accord and they see what each everybody is doing. Right now, a lot of countries are literally forming partnerships, strategic partnerships, and it's like a puzzle piece. Everybody's linking up. Everybody is investing in each other. Now, the United States is in the hot seat. At one point, we definitely were. We weren't, right. We were being overlooked because we were pushing all the jobs for cryptocurrency overseas. Now that everybody is focused on what Trump is doing, they're focused on this emerging technology. The partnerships are happening. Everybody is wanting now to invest in what Trump is doing and in this emerging asset class. Now, the main focus of this presidency is blockchain, cryptocurrency, and artificial intelligence. So I don't know if you guys really been paying attention, but I know we definitely been covering it and keeping you guys abreast. Trump has been everywhere and he's been making countless deals with other nations, right? And it's for them to build these big AI launch pads or these big facilities here, so they know that the Fortune 500 companies are going to be investing in it, and we're staking our claim. We want to be the hub for crypto and AI, right? So now you have a generalized picture, right? You have Trump and his administration, pro crypto, everything is friendly, everybody wants in. The rest of the world is paying attention. Now they're investing. So they're throwing huge capital into these markets, into these players, into these projects. And again, you have to focus on the particulars. So I'm going to show you guys another piece to this puzzle. So now that you know what happened back in March, now here's the second piece to it. Just yesterday, this was June 30th, Robinhood EU, they just announced that their European division is going into a bold expansion. They're basically rolling out tokenized stocks, including private equity shares. This means that instead of only owning just regular shares of something, you'll actually be able to buy fractionalized blockchain-based shares of companies, and even some of them that are still private. Now that's massive. Now, I did some more deeper diving, right? And not only is it just for the EU, now there's actually a component here for the United States that's actually about to do the exact same thing. Now, this is going to open a door for regular investors, retail investors, hedge funds, etc. The doors are opening, right? People are now going to have full exposure that used to be reserved for only venture capitalists, right? Or private wealth, right? But they didn't stop there. Again, Robinhood EU is expanding their crypto offerings outside of those tokenized stocks to Bitcoin, XRP, Cardano, and again, the meme coin Pepe. Now, this is the same Pepe that Donald Trump he has in reserve. Now, the World Fire Liberty, what we've been doing is we've actually been paying attention to what they've been investing in, right? Just watching it, just being aware of what's happening in the industry around us. Now, they're telling us verbatim, and you can see it right on the blockchain. You can see all the assets that they're investing in, right? All the digital assets they have money in. And it's surprising, but these are the exact same ones that he just announced back on March 6th. These are the same digital assets: Bitcoin, XRP, Cardano, right? Key players. Now, they might they might have held some of that Pepe and stuff like that just because it was a seized asset. But ironically, right, it shows you that even meme coins, if you wanted to invest them, and because you have power, you have a position in the world. When you start doing things and everybody can see it right on the blockchain, everybody else can also follow suit. Now, I'm definitely not telling you guys to invest by any means in any meme coins, right? I'm not telling you that. I'm just telling you by example, when you have somebody like Trump and you have these guys at World Fire Liberty who are investing in certain assets and everybody can see it, it's called influence, right? And of course, this is Trump. He's the president, right? So of course, people are going to see what they're doing and they're going to mimic his moves because there's probably a reason why he's doing this, right? So I'm looking past the meme coin, but I'm looking at the particulars. All right, he put out the message. He's actually invested into these coins. Now, we already were invested in XRP, Cardano, Bitcoin, Ethereum, things like that, right? So there was no secret for that. We've been given this for multiple dot connects and multiple members only live calls, right? But there was a reason. These coins actually solve real world problems. Now, inside of your membership, right? Everybody inside cryptocurrency, everybody has access to courses that they can access. One of those courses is how do you actually research projects. So I'm gonna pause for a quick second. Now, we just had a huge influx of new members that came in, right? So we always urge you guys, no matter what, you have a starting point here with us. All right. So I'm going to drop just because I know there's a couple people that's probably here. You may have not made that call. I'm going to give you guys the link to the AI roadmap, and I'm also going to give you guys the crypto roadmap. And this is for every single member that's on this call, right? If you don't have the proper foundation and you don't know where to start, we already took the liberty of guiding you guys step by step exactly how we wanted it. Now, I am going to tell you guys, it is going to come out in an email. So we got a message for you guys. We'll post it inside the academy. Everybody will be added, so you guys will get it no matter what. All right. But just because I know you guys are on this call, I'm going to drop it here as well. All right. So give me 1 second. Let me just drop that. Make sure y'all got what you need. And so this is your crypto roadmap. And then here is your AI roadmap. All right. So now that you guys have that and you have everything laid out to a T of exactly where you need to start, you have tools and resources that are available to you. And I don't want anybody to just come in and just have a knee-jerk feeling, even if you've been here with us. Foundation matters. And the reason foundation is going to matter is because there's going to be a lot of moving parts in AI and in crypto over these next couple of months. This is why we say don't take the summer off. Again, new systems are happening, new partnerships are happening, new rules and regulations are going to happen. And when it happens, the best reward is going to come from those who are strategically positioned. You have the knowledge. That means you've already went through your courses, you've learned. Now you have a little bit of confidence, right? Now that you have the knowledge, you have the awareness. The awareness is going to be everything that's going on in the information that we bring to you on these live calls, right? There's going to be news articles that come across your ether. You're going to hear things on social media networks. And then, of course, Steve and I are going to be dropping crypto and tins and things like that for you that'll help you guys along your journey, right? So there's going to be new news and information that comes to you. Now, here's the last part. The last factor is going to be your execution. It's not always about being the first person, the first mover. Yes, there's an advantage to that. But the biggest takeaway from this is once you have the foundation, the awareness, and you actually execute and you are buying these crypto assets, that you believe in that solve real world problems that we're laying out for you, and you've used the knowledge that we've provided for you in your courses, how to research uh, crypto projects, that's a course for you right in cryptocurrency. So you don't have to take our word for something. You can literally use the metrics and the tools that we provided for you in the course, and then that reinforces real world application. Now, I say all that to say, you now have two big puzzle pieces that just got connected, and they gave you the exact same crypto assets. Now, check this out. Now, there was just news that came out today, probably 2, 3 hours ago. Now, this is powerful. The SEC just formally acknowledged Grayscale. They're pushing to convert this huge digital large cap fund that they had, and they're going to convert it into a full blown spot ETF. So now, again, this is no longer about Bitcoin. It's not just about ETH. Now you have a basket of crypto assets that are within this Grayscale fund, and then now it's going to be converted to an ETF. Now, what happened with the ETF with Bitcoin? That is the largest ETF period that we've ever experienced. The reason being is because it gave everyone exposure to crypto assets, right? Now, here's the thing. You guys are actively inside of this industry, learning and investing as retail investors. You don't need overexposure. You're directly exposed because you hold the actual asset. right? You've went on an exchange, you've purchased it. We showed you guys how to secure your assets. It's yours. You control it, right? So you have full autonomy over it. With these ETFs, they don't really know what they're doing. So they're depending on somebody else to basically take their capital, invest into something that they feel is moving, which it has been historically. And now this is a great thing for them, but they don't have to actually have all the bells and whistles and know definitively how to navigate in the space, how to protect themselves, how to transact and things like that. Some people just aren't there yet, right? But they may have a lot of capital and they want exposure to something. Great. All right. Definitely not my jam. We always told you guys definitely you just need to direct access to the crypto asset and not exposure through an ETF. But again, the older crowd, some people who just aren't savvy, they don't have time for it. They just have the capital. That's what they want to do. Cool. Now, think about this. With this news, why would I even be bringing up Grayscale having this large fund, right? Now, think about the two things that I just told you about. Now we're connecting another puzzle piece. Guess what assets are inside of that large fund from Grayscale? Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and Cardano. The same five major digital assets that have been named all the way across the board, they're now all being bundled together in one regulated investment product. And this is where institutions themselves can put on their books. So big players, big governments, banks, financial institutions, they all now have access to it. So an ETF like this is big news. This is huge because it removes all of the hurdles for pension funds, insurance companies, and big Wall Street players, right? And this is what we wanted. This is what we've been setting up for. Excuse me. Once the door opens, billions of dollars can flow into these crypto projects overnight because now they're not basically just standalone and they're deep in the shadows. They're literally wrapped in a traditional structure that institutions can actually understand. Now, to today's final domino, right? There was just news that came out again earlier today. I'm looking at this and I'm surprised because I'm like, all right, this is huge news from Grayscale. And I actually went on CoinMarketCap, which is another one of you guys' resources you have inside your course. Basically, CoinMarketCap, it gives you an overview of a project, right? It tells you the tokenomics, it shows you the direct links to things, the market pairs, where you can purchase the crypto project from, etc. Right? All of the details that you would need. It's all in there. So as I'm hearing this news, right, and this is just maybe 2, 3 hours ago. So as I'm hearing this news, and I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm preparing this call. I want to be able to bring value to everyone, whether you're new or you're existing. You've been here, right? Again, this is about awareness. I go on and I say, you know what? Let me dig deeper into this Robinhood play. If Robinhood was announcing the news in the EU about tokenized stocks, and now they're highlighting these same assets, what's going on the United States side? So on the United States side, Robinhood just did something that was huge but super practical. They just announced that they're launching a crypto-backed credit card, right? So this is not just for Bitcoin or ETH. This is with XRP exactly. Now, think about this. Every time that you swipe your credit card, they have rewards programs, right? And in these rewards programs, they're giving you back what, 1% on your transactions on gas or food or whatever it is, right? So what they're doing is they're incentivizing people for usage because of course through the usage, right? They're able to obtain fees and things like that from your usage. Now think about this. This is a new world that we're entering into. And again, it's backed by gold, commodities, silver, platinum, palladium, etc., right? And cryptocurrency. Think about every time that you swipe your card, you can earn a cryptocurrency in rewards. So now instead of you just getting regular money, you're able to get access to XRP or Bitcoin or Ethereum, right? But the main asset for this Robinhood release, this gold card, was XRP. Now, it was hidden in the fine print, and it's wild that I was even able to see this. Because at first I just thought it was just pure speculation. But I'm looking at it and I'm like, this truly makes sense. Not only was XRP one of the first assets that Robinhood launched with when they started, I guess basically they were in beta testing, right? And then once they opened it up to everybody, you now had access to real cryptocurrency assets, and there were only a handful. Always your usual suspects: Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then they had XRP and a few others. So as I'm seeing this, I'm thinking to myself, this is massive because now you're bringing practicality and everyday use to the everyday person. Now, if you've invested in this card, it's a Robinhood card. So most people are already invested in stocks, right? They have exposure to it. The new addition that Robinhood is kind of walking into, and when I say new addition, I mean over the past couple years, this is cryptocurrency. So now that they have access to XRP, you being able to earn this every single time you swipe, think about what this does, one, to the person, right? In your mind, you now like, hey, I have to use my credit card for daily transactions anyway, gas, food, whatever it is, bill paying, etc. Right? But every single time that you do it, you're now getting basically an investment vehicle that can appreciate over time. So now you don't even have to truly go out and invest. You could just make your selection of whatever reward you wanted to come in, whether it's XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever. And then now, every single time that you swipe that card, you're just stockpiling. So now you're doing exactly the same thing that the government is doing, right? They don't necessarily have to buy it, but they have exposure to it. They can get it. It will appreciate. Now, this is the type of awareness that I need every single person to have, right? Because you're doing this already. This is something you actively participate in every single day, right? Most of us don't walk around with cash anymore, right? We're not walking around with spare change. We're walking around with our debit cards or even our phones, and we're just using tap to pay. But it's all connected. It's all the same way. Now we're just walking into the new phase, right, of how we're all going to transact. And again, here's where your awareness should kick in. This is letting you know that now that we are moving away from having tangible fiat in our hands or in our pockets, whatever the case is, we've transitioned to now tap to pay. And with tap to pay, it's the same thing as using your card. But now you're being incentivized for this. Now, as you're being incentivized and you're early to this party, you're here, you're front row and center, you're live in the game. Think about the rest of the world that has not yet even started to invest in any of these crypto projects. They're not even here yet. They're not even learning, right? Whatsoever. So as you have people like this should let you know something. You're early to the party, right? And when you're early to the party, this gives you first movers advantage. You now have the ability to be able to get in, invest in these projects, learn what they are, right? Learn what they do, see the connection pieces and the partnerships, right? See what problem they're actually solving in the world. And then you're able to put capital behind them. And this has been tried, tested, and proven. Over time, assets appreciate. There was a time when Bitcoin was, I just came across a post yesterday. 10 years ago, this is 2015, Bitcoin was $250. And this was almost to the date. This was maybe, I think it was like June 26th or 27th, something like that. It was $250 in 2015. Right now, the price of Bitcoin is $107,000 per coin. So when you look at things like that, you have to understand it's like you have the ability to do the same thing. And it's not financial advice. I'm just telling you guys, this is real world example of things as they're happening. 10 years ago, you were able to get something for pennies on a dollar in essence. Now, present day, 100,000 isn't just something that you find under your pillowcase, right? Or tucked away in the shoebox or in your bank account savings. You don't have it. You know what I mean? So to see that nowadays, this is really real, right? Now, I'm seeing all of these connection pieces, and when you put it all together, Trump's Reserve, Robinhood's tokenized stocks, this XRP card, Grayscale ETF, these are huge things that's going on in the space. And again, whether you're a beginner or you're somebody who's been here for a while, you don't even have to have full context to just understand and see this in real time and make the connection yourself. You have the blueprint for the next era of mainstream adoption, right? So it's no longer about I know some people used to hear things like, crypto won't survive, it's a Ponzi, it's fake. That's long gone out the window. That narrative is gone. That's not even something you should even fixate or even thinking about. Because right now I'm showing you guys moving pieces in real time that shows you the connection. It's here to stay and it's here for the long term. The world is changing around you. This is what you need to fixate and focus on. And then now, your next question is, how much of it can you position yourself to benefit from? All right, so here's just my take, right? And I just want you guys to kind of listen carefully. So these aren't moves that happen just sporadically or by accident. This is coordinated. It's not just happening here in the United States. This is a geopolitical situation that's happening, and you all are witnessing it in real time, right? It's an evolution of money, markets, the problems that these technologies are able to solve, and how fast they're able to do so. All right. So when the US government, you have big exchanges, Robinhood, for example, you have Grayscale, which is a huge investment company. All of these announcements are happening within months or days of time from each other. It's basically showing you that the major players, they're already positioning themselves for the next phase. So again, I got a question for you. With this information that I just gave you right here, do you think you should take the summer off? And y'all could drop it in the chat. Drop a yes or a no. And it's no right or wrong answer. I'm only saying the obvious, right? This is the elephant in the room. So the beginner's mistake is thinking that this is just about which coin is going to pump tomorrow. So it's not about just a quick flip, but I am giving you value. I'm giving you a blueprint, a roadmap, if you will. The smart move is basically being able to see these type of shifts that happen. And you have things like tokenization. This is when the entire market is moving towards, they're moving basically real world assets on the blockchain. So your houses, artwork, stocks, bonds, everything, right? It's all coming on blockchain. So even the properties that you guys own, when you go to sell it, whoever buys it, they can easily tokenize it, and you can too. Now, you got credit and payments. This is stuff we all know, right? But now you're able to earn crypto in the process instead of just regular fiat. So now we're merging the old money in the old way with the new way in the new systems, right? You can develop this skill to basically be able to connect these dots, but you just have to pay attention. You have to be able to read between the lines. You have to study partnerships. You have to be aware, right? Watch what the regulators are doing. Watch the moves that they're making, the connections that they give, right? And then the laws that get passed or that's currently in the House or in Senate, right? And we do a great job of covering this, but of course, this is once every week. There could be 15 bills that come out and we may not cover all 15, right? And you guys have the capability of being able to receive information, digest it, break it down. You can even use artificial intelligence to do that, right? Grab a bill, feed it right through your chat GPT. Tell it to give you a summarized version of this with bullet points. And it'll give you, your response, even if you don't have the time to read 150 pages. Now you can use the technology to your advantage, right? Now, all I'm saying to you guys is once you are watching what the players are doing and you understand how you can position yourself, you can position your money and your mindset. Crypto rewards knowledge and action, right? Not hype. So the biggest thing, all the new people, I don't ever want you guys to get caught up in FOMO. FOMO is fear of missing out. We also have a course, and it's a part of your roadmap. So if you guys are paying attention to the crypto roadmap, once you click that link and it tells you all the courses and curriculum you need to take, it's in order, right? Go through them. Make sure you in all the OGs, go back and revisit it because sometimes you need the reminder, right? I get messages all the time. Hey, champ, should I invest in this? Or should I throw money in this? I, I'm not always going to, one, be at your beck and call. And then two, honestly, you have to have the conviction and the confidence in yourself and knowing that you got the right knowledge and you know how to apply it. That's going to be important. All right. So the key takeaway tonight is going to be knowledge is going to be your greatest foundation, period. All right. Awareness, that's going to be a second edge. Staying awake, staying aware, seeing the moves that's happening, catching the headlines, right? But not just always focusing on a headline, right? Being ahead of the news, understand when things are happening and being able to kind of navigate through it. And then finally, it's going to be your execution. That's always going to be your final step, right? Because knowing something and then seeing something, it means nothing if you don't act, right? So I'm a big proponent for this. Have the knowledge, understand what's going on, be aware, but actually do something about it. Don't just sit on being being the brainiac. I used to have Money Mike calls it paralysis, right? It's where you just kind of so focused and locked in on so much information. Sometimes it can kind of paralyze you and stop you from moving forward. But when you also know the steps and you're prepared for this, and then of course you're a part of Skyton Academy, and this is what we push. We want you guys to actually learn this stuff, but we also want you to act, right? We give you guys the tools and the curriculum you need to be successful, but we can't make you do anything. It's up to you. So you have to build your confidence, you build your reps up, investigate these projects, use the tools that we give you, and boom, go for it. The world is yours. All right. So I want you guys to remember something. You have you have the roadmaps, right? You have the master classes, you have all the live talks that we give you. Your job is to simply stay plugged in, keep learning, and practice execution in small, smart ways each and every day. And you got to remember the biggest opportunities that exist out here, they're not going to scream at you. Sometimes they just whisper, sometimes they just show up as a signal. It's your job to be able to see them, trust your preparation, and basically move with confidence out here. All right. So I just wanted to bring that to you guys today. And I started to connect dots, and I felt like this was really important. And this was just a basic reminder that no matter what level you are in this space, you have to pay attention to what's going on around you. And if you do pay attention, you can be handsomely rewarded, but you have to act. All right. You got to be on point. All right. So Steve is here on the call. Give me 1 second. Let me bring him up.
Let's not be behind the bush. Guys, we don't have enough time. This first wave is going to be infrastructure projects, takes this project down. ARB. All right. This was a major one. If you watch and I was supposed to post it. I actually went to IG before I came to you guys with it. The AI builders got it yesterday before IG did. All right. Yep. So ARB, right? Arbitrum. Saying it correctly?
Arbitrum.
There you go. All right. So guys, listen, this was the play that he talked about with the Robinhood situation. This is how we get money. And I get where you're going with it. You did a great job on that. But we have a lot of new people in the room, so that end around won't really work for them. So I'm going to give them something, just substance, right? And this is going to help you go back to the course of how to research a project and just kind of run it through. So next month, I promise you guys, we're going to start to get back on the spot calls where we're going to start to break down projects individually. All right. And we'll only give those to the academy. But I want you guys to start seeing the opportunity in dollars and cents too, right? Because there's so many things we can't say because of financial stuff. But this is a closed off room, right? You guys are paying us. We're going to talk openly about it. Again, it's not financial advice, but we got to be able to just give them something tangible. All right. So this particular project right here, I've been watching it for a minute. I don't like ETH, right? But in not liking ETH, I could also miss opportunity in and around ETH because that protocol has already been centralized, meaning all the major players are there. I mean, guys we're getting ETH for like $1. So understand when he's giving you that Trump situation with all those coins, that's nothing more than payola right now. There's no long-term in Pepe unless they allow it to be long-term in Pepe. Understand? So when these guys are being gifted 5 billion, 10 billion of these tokens, they're going to make it seem like it's the end all be all. The same thing with Solana. Right. Yep. ETH and Solana have been hijacked by institutional investors that are willing to push the money up if we allow ourselves to go into it on the tail end of it. All right. So if you follow that protocol, you're going to be exit liquidity because you're not going to know when to come out and you're going to think they're going to run it all the way up until whatever. Chainlink, solid project, guys. I'll be honest. That should be in everybody's portfolio right now. Period. I'm not beating around the bush. This is me talking to y'all. I'm invested in Chainlink. I've been heavily invested in just the infrastructure of what it does. Anything that's bridging the gap between projects is always going to have a road to success in crypto. because it's what we call an infrastructure project. For my newbies, when you invest in cryptocurrency or you invest in any emerging market, you have to invest in the infrastructure. So I always like to give the example of real estate. You ask most people, if you had unlimited money, what would you buy or do? Everybody's looking to build something. Nobody thinks about infrastructure because he who owns the land has control over everything: land, air rights, mineral rights, you name it. So this is what we're telling you. When we say infrastructure projects, we're talking about the rights, meaning everything has to flow through here. That's why ETH is a major project in a sense, because of smart contracts. Not that the protocol itself is smart. The smart contract aspect of it is smart. So we're gonna start to break this stuff down to you guys that want to go a little bit more advanced. It's gonna help you connect the dots with every layer that comes beyond it. This particular project, ARB, is what saved ETH to me, right? Because ETH had an issue with stability, fees, still a little bit crazy, got a little bit better, but if not for the layer twos, that project is done. You would, and if you're new here, it's a fee situation. So just imagine trying to purchase something, and depending on the congestion of the network, the fees fluctuate crazy. I've seen things $100, they're charging me $1,000 sometimes in fees. This is what happens. Now, here's what you have to realize with ETH, guys. If you're new to here, and once the meme coin craze starts to pick up again, depending on what blockchain it's on, it's going to congest the network and create more fees. You understand? That's what these meme coins do. They take up a lot of space, and then we all have to pay for it if we're using that chain. That's one of the main reasons why I stay away from ETH, and I'm pretty sure Champ, same thing. There's projects that we find early, but because we have to go through DEX and all this other stuff, it's just like, God damn, like, I just want to buy the project. I don't want to pay 10 times the amount right now. But sometimes it's worth it depending on the project and where it's going to go. So when interoperability comes, that's when I think ETH will start to lose a little bit. But then when I see projects like this being built on top of it and gaining those partnerships, I'm like, damn, this project on ETH, this layer 2 has the most partnerships known to man right now in comparison, right? So it's basically a layer 2 scaling solution for ETH. So this is what's allowing ETH to be able to scale, right? ETH doesn't care at the end of the day. The blockchain, it doesn't matter who's building what. All of it is liquidity that's pouring through the actual blockchain, right? Solana itself doesn't really do a whole lot outside of just allowing space. So if I had to compare it to the internet, it's Google, right? Google will have what? A bunch of companies that can market and advertise on it, but all roads still lead to Google, right?
Mm-hmm.
The main liquidity is going through that hub. So that's why we say invest in blockchain, which is the infrastructure first. Don't worry about the individual projects. Most of them are gonna crash and burn. But the blockchains are really here to stay if they could sustain mass adoption and network, congestion and outages. Remember, we don't know what it's going to be like at 20% world adoption. We don't know what it's going to be like at 50%. We don't know what it would be like at 100% on these networks. They may crash and burn, right? So this is where we have to be careful and not put all our eggs in one basket. And then we don't know what could happen from because you got to figure, like the computer day, right? When more users are using a particular computer, what happens? That's where all the hackers go, right? This is what happened with Microsoft. You figure now they had to do what? What's the shit called? Virus protection,
Mm-hmm.
right? But that was Bill Gates that created it. They created the viruses within and said, you know what? We have another vertical that we can build on these computers. When Apple came out, they said, you know what? We're going to do the opposite of that. We don't want to be in the virus protection game. We just want people to have a solid computer that doesn't require a whole lot of updates. And still to this day, it held true. I don't know. I've never had a virus on my Mac, right? And never really had to do too many like virus updates either. Okay. So the same thing is happening in cryptocurrency. You're going to have a lot of projects that are going to create problems just to create verticals. All right. So this is a scaling solution. It's designed to improve the speed and cost efficiency. Champ, what's the current price today?
For what? Arbitrum?
Yeah, for Arbitrum.
32 cents.
All right, so
So
it's going down, guys. It hasn't even priced in the news yet, and it's down from what its all time high. Is down how much so far?
let me see. Let me go back to Arbitrum.
So, guys, it's designed to improve on ETH the speed and cost efficiency of the transactions while maintaining the security of the Ethereum mainnet. All right. So here's a couple of the benefits. You have lower transactions, faster transactions, right? Lower transaction fees, faster transactions. It's ETH compatible, right? So developers can easily port existing smart contracts into their network with minimal charges. All right. So you have dApps from Uniswap that are on there. Aave is a big one, guys. That's a big DeFi situation. DeFi is going to be probably the biggest narrative in cryptocurrency. This is where a majority of the liquidity is going to run through. So think about this. If the institutional guys are coming into cryptocurrency right now and they're bringing all the wealth management, the pension funds, you name it, they're going to need a way to borrow in cryptocurrency. It no longer works the traditional way. Traditionally, you would go to your bank and you would get lines of credit, right? That's dead. It's going to all roll through the DeFi market, which is decentralized financing. This is where, when you have $1 billion worth of transactions, you can borrow up to $500 million, and they're just going to lock liquidity. And this is what the DeFi market is. All right.
Mm-hmm.
The derivatives market is also going to be a big one, but that's going to be more so for the exchanges. Watch how these stable coins and everybody starts to integrate. So USDC now just applied for a banking license, right? I told Champ the other day, I said, listen, stable coins on its own, I'm not saying they can't live, but in order for them to be relevant in the future, they have to innovate. All right. And I'm gonna show you exactly how they're gonna innovate, right? But let's get through this situation first. Guys, ARB is right on Coinbase.
Mm-hmm.
It's everywhere to buy. All right, so it's not anything that's hard. So it's strong for the developer ecosystem. It also offers decentralized governance with the ARB token. This is where it has a burn mechanism too. So that token is always going to have to be used. For me, what blew me was the partnerships. I've been in this project, but then I'm like, damn, I don't have enough of it. Seeing how much they innovated. So when you start to invest in these projects, whether it's Champs gives it to you or I give it to you or whoever, you need to follow the roadmap of the project, because I had no clue outside of when Robinhood came on that they scaled to that much situation. All right. So we have to
Mm-hmm.
find ways to look at the liquidity, look at the new partnerships, and it'll connect dots in the future. Okay. So I want to get to the stablecoin thing and then we're done. All right. So growing liquidity and exchange support. Remember, I told you guys, a lot of you guys are playing in the DeFi market right now and you're making money on your assets right now. I'm not hell bent and sold on it just yet because the real money and the real players haven't got into it. The first thing that they're going to deconstruct when they come into the DeFi market is the current DeFi protocols, right? All those liquidity pools you guys are into, if it's not backed by institutional guys or the government, you're clipped. I could almost guarantee that. All right. And then it supports real world use case. All right. So they're in DeFi insurance, they're in synthetic assets, prediction markets, and more. What you guys have to understand is the future of banking, and we laid it out to you in one of our talks. That's what Robinhood is doing right now. You're going to have predictive AI that's going to be able to manage your money for you to make smart decisions, as long as you cut that on. If anybody has American Express card, you understand when you go to the benefits, you have to cut on benefits. This restaurant, that benefit, and then you start to, like Champ talked about earlier, you start to gain rewards. But if you don't cut that on, they don't see you as somebody that's interested in that.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing for crypto. He laid it out for you and told you you're going to benefit off of it, but you have to know what you're benefiting off of
Right.
to know which cards are viable. All right. So far from the days of using an Amex card, it doesn't really have that much power. I've looked at the crypto.com card and all the airport lounges, all the access to events and things, it's all lined up.
Yep.
All right. So that's the benefit to this particular project right here that just partnered up with Robinhood. So Robinhood is using this for its tokenization of stocks and all things. All right. So now let's get into the stablecoin situation, Champ. I don't know if you saw how much the Trump stablecoin is valued now.
The USD one?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it.
All right, I'm gonna drop it to you in Telegram. Just send it to the group so they can see it. And this was a doozy, and this happened overnight. So I'm gonna tell you that once Tether's out the way, the game changes.
Yeah, for sure. And I got something for y'all too. But I'll let Steve just rock and do what he do.
So I'm just going to stablecoins and I'm done. So USD1, that's the Trump family stablecoin, right? That's the one that's playing off of the World Liberty financial situation that most of us couldn't get into because we weren't institutional investors. All right. But check it. So in the last 24 hours, it surpassed USDC in volume. and it reached an all-time high of $3.37 billion already. He just launched it.
Wow.
This ain't even through partnerships. This is more like people want to do business with the most powerful man in the world,
That's it.
right? He is taking over the financial system, him and his family. All right. So when we say, look at what they're doing, you don't follow everything they do because then you'll buy the Trump coin and you'll be stuck. Right? There's the smart shit and then there's the dumb shit. They're burning the candle from both ends. So he's already up to 3.3 billion dollars, right? Whereas this is in the last 24 hours, USDC was right around 3 billion, and then you had Tether, of course, 36 billion. So Tether is definitely in 24 hours. These guys are doing a lot, but we know why. All right. And then you have another one coming up in the rear is First Digital USD. Guys, there's going to be stable coins out the wazoo. Everybody's going to have a stable coin. You know why stable coins are important to the government? Because they're going to be required to buy the treasury bonds, the ones that nobody wants to buy. That's what keeps America afloat. When we talked about the de-dollarization of the US dollar, meaning countries dropping it, you notice it. West Africa, their GDPs are flying by America right now. So when you start to see that, you're going to see a Europe is going to be weak. France, forget about it. France is the new Coney Island. I promise you that. So you figure when you can't, they have no resources in these countries. We have no real resources either. We market and we have celebrities.
Yeah, that's true.
And then we deal in a lot of propaganda. But at the end of the day, the only thing that Americans do outside of that funny shit is some other stuff too, but I won't name them, is we sell IP. That's what Trump is doing all over the world right now. He's selling IP. He's selling the United States as if it's the hub of AI and cryptocurrency. Let me explain something to you about this. We are the biggest scam artists in the world. All right. This is nothing more than money laundering for these guys at the end of the day. But the world is waking up. That's why I say I don't know if we're going to be the superpower of AI or even cryptocurrency because the world is waking up. If I'm going to go consult and I'm going to consult with West Africa, I'm going to show them exactly how to do this properly without the need for the United States. Like, why you just gave us a bad dollar 1,000 years ago. Why would we take the next dollar? Let's not be dumb. All right. So I don't want you guys to think like it's all Trump and following what they do. No, them white wizards are still here to fuck with us. It's only beneficial to them. That's why it makes sense. All right. So I'm going to teach you how to really make this play correctly and remove yourself from the equation because at some point they're going to rug you and they're going to say, hey, it's all fair. It's business. You know, we didn't know that system couldn't handle such and such. They know everything. They just need to get the first wave of exit liquidity in, out the door, and sealed. You won't know when to sell because you'll just keep seeing these prices going up and up and up and up. I don't see Bitcoin at 1 million without it dropping at something for it to be stabilized. Nothing of store value is supposed to go up in price like that. This shit is just absolutely crazy. All right. So check it. Here's the, now when you looked at that, did you drop the image to them?
I did.
That's the 24-hour volume, guys. He just launched this coin. You know how he's able to secure this stuff? He is forcing the world. One, he speaks one way as a representative of the United States. And then the second thing is he brings his son Eric in, and then they start to talk about what you need to do in order to get that investment over to the United States. So they're forcing every country to run through their stable coin, right? Which is then going to benefit their products, their DeFi, their ability to lend more, their ability to gain more fees. But they're having countries locked into a deal that's not really on the up and up where we don't benefit off of that. We won't benefit off the stable coin. Don't think you're going to go out there and buy a stable coin and think it's going to go up in price. It's between 97 and maybe $1.01. And that's it. And if you're trying to catch it, then I'll tell you this is dumb. Don't waste your time on that. So these guys are enriching themselves and they're just using cryptocurrency for it. I'm not happy about that. All right, but cool. Here's the benefits of owning a top stable coin. This is why everybody's going for the elephant in the room, which is Tether. All right. So you have control over the entire liquidity flow. So billions of dollars in volume pass through these tokens every single day. Do you know how much leverage they can leverage on $1 billion? I'm going to tell you how. So the issuers control the rails. This is what I tell you. I said it before. I said, listen, this shit ain't starting until they get the stablecoin regulations in. That's the rail. You can't put a train on a track before the track is laid down. This is the track. So if you ever watch The Men That Built America, you guys should all go back and watch that. It tells you about the Carnegies, the Rockefellers, all the guys that were in steel, like the guys that made America. We know who built America. And then it's still in question if they even created the technology behind that, because they still can't figure out the pyramids. So when you went to go get the guys from Africa to start the work here, you don't think they bought IP over because they was too dumb to tie their own shoelaces? They were cavemen from Caucasus Mountains.
Mhm.
All right, so let's be smart here. Let's be smart. You're listening to the right guys. We may not look like them, but we definitely aren't them. All right. So global trust and brand dominance. So the top stablecoin is to become the what? The default digital dollar for DeFi, remittance, NFTs, and exchanges worldwide. Trump can't lose. He's got the power. He's got it for the next 3 years or however much time. Right? So that means that every government that he shakes hands with is going to be required to send this thing through a new form. This is why they don't care about the central banks anymore. Right? He is the new central bank. That Trump name is going to be synonymous to, you can put it up to the Rockefellers, you can put it up to the Carnegies, you can put it up to some of the strongest families ever known to man. And it's not going to be done through real estate. Because if he could make billions of dollars on meme coins, and then next week he drops his wife, she pulls a couple B's, and then the day after that, that big headed son comes out and he drops a couple. I don't even know if that kid blinks or talks. Y'all ever see him talk? No, I'm being honest.
Only once.
So
Only
you
once.
did see him talk.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not
Only
saying
once.
that he's dumb. I'm just telling you, I thought he
Yeah.
probably had something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
He looked like it, but I did definitely see him.
All right,
Shout out
and
to,
he articulated, because I'm not the brightest with my words. I'm just saying.
yeah. Yeah, nah,
He's
he did.
articulate.
He was on point. It was quick though. It was a quick flow.
Nah, he's sharp. I like the kid, man. He
Yeah.
looks like he's in position. If anything, he'd probably be the one to come back later and have political aspirations. I don't. The other ones don't,
Yeah, he just
right?
going.
He's growing up in this, so I can see him taking that, because that's where the power is still at. If Trump
Mhm.
doesn't burn this thing down. All right, so we got global trust. So we got onboarding power. So new users entering crypto almost always start with a stable coin. So whoever controls the onboarding experience gets the head start in offering more services like what? Wallets, banking, lending, AI tools, etc. This is why you got to look at the stablecoin market as the most dominant factor. This is why XRP is going for that XRPO. No matter how big of whatever market they're going to go after, they know what the stablecoin market does. That's where the data is. That's where the information starts. That's where the people are. You understand? That's the payroll. That's the social security. That's the universal basic income that's running through these things. That's the masses. The masses are asses, but that's where most of the money is going to run through. All right. The masses don't know what to do with their money. They're just going to leave it in there. And then these guys are going to borrow against it. They're going to put it in the real projects. They're going to pump that up. And then they're in and out. The derivatives market, forget it. These guys can make $1 trillion a week if they wanted to. Binance is making damn near $56 billion. They making more than BlackRock and these guys. Nobody's talking about this. And it's in the infancy stages. Do you see what these guys are going after right now? This is about domination. All right. So where's the money made with stable coins, guys? Here's the first thing: the yields from the reserves. So stable coins like Tether and Circle have to do what? They have to park billions of dollars in those US treasuries. That's that junk bond nobody wants to buy. Guess how much that bond is paying, champ?
How
4
much?
to 5% interest. So on $80 billion in reserve, you make how much interest per year?
God.
5%, $4 billion. Y'all see this business that these guys are doing? And we're only talking about 9 to 12% of the world population is even invested in cryptocurrency, and the real money hasn't even got into here yet.
Yeah.
Dubai has the M2. Start looking at what these other countries are doing. We don't have to just invest here. We can move globally with this and play other markets. That's what we're going to start showing you guys how to do. For my newbies, get through those goddamn courses and get caught up, so you can
Fast.
start understanding what we're talking about right now. Now we got to talk money talk. Fuck all that financial advice, and I'm not dancing around this shit. I need to look at that ARB token, run it through your shit, and figure out if that's a play or not. All right. Did I give you out the partnerships for that particular thing?
No, not on this one. I was gonna get to all that. But go ahead, you got them. I still got the three from yesterday.
All right, well, we got Robinhood, which is the obvious one that just came out, but that Uniswap, right?
Mm-hmm.
Largest decentralized exchange. Aave, they provide lending and borrowing. That's a big DeFi protocol right there. That's going to be around. They also have Balancer, right? They add flexibility to liquidity pools. We are going to start talking about these things now because now they matter. Now they matter. Not the guys that are going to lock your money up and take it out the back door and be like, oh, we got hacked. I'm gonna tell y'all, and when it happens, I'm gonna tell y'all, and y'all better be honest about the shit. Do something right with that money and that interest money. But if your shit is locked up, find ways to get it out. All right. Um, if infrastructure projects, Chainlink, The Graft, Forta, Gold Sky, and DIA. All right. These are security. These guys are in the insurance game, guys. I understand there's a whole insurance protocol being built out of cryptocurrency right now. Who you think's gonna hold that? I'll get that to you next week. We got time for it. You got wallets, Ledger, Zingo, Tahoe. They're just making up shit now. But it's just
Right.
wallet integration, guys. I don't know. It's all types of shit going on in here. Creator tools and developer ecosystem. Panda tool, OK contract. That's a big one. Unlock and interact. These support token creations, onboarding, and community management of DAOs. This is how it makes life easier for us to set up a DAO instantly. Think of Shopify for building a website, right? Do you have to know coding? No, you just pick a template, you put the name, you change the color. That's what's happening in that world for developer tools. Ton of liquidity moving through there. Gaming and entertainment. This one is probably going to be one of the biggest sectors. I've seen the data coming out of this shit. That's all things. So they have a $10 million gaming venture backed by AAA and an indie title. So these are games now. Wildcard, Hive Labs, um, Zay or Z. That's a layer 3 gaming, and then Proof of Plays, Nation.
Pirate Nation, yeah.
You may not know about this, but trust me, these kids are going to be your kids or whoever's the gamer. They're going to be able to earn for everything, not just fake money and then you buy something for. No, I'm talking about like real money, of real industry. All right. And then layer 2 infrastructure expansion. So off chain, Nitro, Stylus, Orbit, AnyTrust. These are all custom chains, guys. So these are just some of the partnerships. All right. And then they have, so why do partnerships matter? So everything from decentralized exchanges to lending platforms to gaming ecosystems, this particular blockchain is going to capture the volume across multiple sectors. Okay. So you have to understand they have over 30 enterprise clients, including exchanges and infrastructure providers that trust this particular project for scalability. And it's 32 cents.
32 cents.
And you don't sell cryptocurrency. So even if it doubled, you borrow against it if you need something. If you want to kind of pull a little bit of profit, no problem with that. But never the entire bag, guys. There's ways to do it, especially when it's a project that you can see long term in. But don't take my word for it. Put this through your tests of how to research projects. When you see these names, you start to understand when Champ talks about tokenization, it may not make sense for some of y'all on the call, right? But when we start to break this stuff down easily, we have a bunch of crypto intents coming out for what is a stable coin, how they make money. We have cryptos intents coming out for uh,
What's crypto?
tokenization and things like
Blockchain.
that. That's what Champ and I wanted to focus on. So instead of talking an hour, 2 hours long, you could have these easy bite-sized situations that you could digest with real world and case use. And then you'll be like, oh, I got it. That makes sense. And then when you see the names behind it, you look at the companies and you say, damn, that company's worth, boom. Robinhood has 23 million users, active users, and growing.
It's huge. Yeah.
You don't think every user spending at least $1 there?
Yeah.
Come on. That's a big hub. And they're buying international exchanges. They're partnering up. You're starting to see who they are. That's a good stock to hold in the future. That's a great stock to hold.
Yeah.
My kids have more of it than I do. All right. So let me get back to the stablecoin situation, Champ. You can grab them. So the yield from the reserve can get you billions of dollars just for holding up the United States market right now. That's the only companies that are going to be allowed to buy it. That's why they're allowing everybody to get a stable coin. Look at the timing of it. This is when Trump and them have to, this administration has to refinance the debt. This is why they about to get rid of Jerome Powell. If he doesn't lower the debt now in July coming up, yo, we're screwed. But it's crazy because, and JD Vance said something. He said, it's funny how when it was election time, he lowered it during the Biden administration when we were way worse in a situation. Now, if you
Hmm.
know that the debt is coming up for refinancing, why would you allow the United States to refinance at the highest point? That's only because they want the Democrats to win the midterm elections. They're not worried about whether we could afford groceries or what the price of gas is. They only playing for midterms right now.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you that when Champ talks about the gold situation, go inside of professional development and go get Glint Pay and go look at how to buy gold at cost metals. And maybe we got to bring the next members only call. Maybe we just do a gold situation so they can understand the power of what's about to happen, because it works in tangent with what's happening with the cryptocurrency. You kind of need
100%.
all of these baskets together.
Yep.
And every state is doing what now? They're allowing gold to be legal tender, legal forms of tender now. The dollar's dead. The states know that you can go back to breaking down silver faster than you can figure out the stablecoin situation. But the partnerships are here with MasterCard and Visa. Every major exchange has a card now, right?
Yep.
How come they're all just coming to fruition now? They've been around,
They've been around. Yep.
but how come they're all just now getting mailed to you?
It's hot. It's time.
The
Yep.
rules and regulations are here. The Genius Bill, whatever it's called.
The genius.
There's a
Yep.
big, beautiful bill too. That's different.
Yeah, it's different. It's
Why does
different,
he?
but
This guy's
it,
dumb. Why is he naming that?
he's just throwing out random names for stuff.
He's
It's like,
confusing people.
yeah, he is. He is.
All right, so
But you know
I'm
what? That's
confused. I didn't.
strategy. That's strategy in itself.
It is, and
Because it's other
I'm
stuff in those bills that they really don't want people talking about to be able to bring it to light. But I've seen a multitude of posts, so we'll get into that too, but not today. But yeah,
God damn.
that's on purpose.
I get it, but I gotta get out the psyop, man. I got a few more days, 9 more days, and I'm out of this country.
Yeah.
That's the La Vista. Transaction fees and spreads. All right. So some platforms charge micro fees when minting, redeeming, swapping, selling, buying, you name it. This is how they make their money. All right. So you have well, that's the exchanges. This is stablecoin. Integration fees, ecosystem play. So wallets, exchanges, apps may pay to integrate a stablecoin early. All right. So that's first mover advantage. Champ talks about that a lot. Can lead to exclusive deals. All right. And then data monetization. Large stablecoin issuers gain insight into money flow and can monetize data usage via analytics, partnerships, and compliance services. Guys, this used to be only for the Visa, MasterCard guys. You understand? This is powerful now. Now we're talking about where everybody's money is going, and not just liquidity in the United States, global liquidity. I don't think y'all understand how big this is. I need a stable coin.
Yeah, this is real.
Yeah. So why they need to, how are stable coins going to stay profitable? That's one of my biggest things. And I went down this rabbit hole, right? Because I'm just like, that's not enough. All right. So they have programmable features. So they're going to add smart contract functionalities for conditional payments, payroll, and subscriptions. They're going to make payroll so easy. You can get paid to the second, right? So far from the days of having to calculate and 2 week pay and you 2 weeks behind, like everything is up front. You can get paid instantaneously. All right. So it's going to be programmable. But guys, understand, I'm telling you the good side to it. What's the downside to programmable money that the government, that you might hold and a government may have? You don't think Trump and them
Control.
can have you spending your money with a time clock on it? That's going to happen. That's how you stimulate an economy. So anytime there's inflation and things like that, they could instantly pour money into an economy. So far from the days of having to go and pay for education to do whatever, because that was the part with the stimulus money. They wanted it to come back to them. That's what happens. You take the stimulus money, you do what? You put it back into the economy.
Put
It
it
gets
back.
back into the
Yep.
banking system, which then goes back to them because all we do is buy shit. But when you
Mhm.
put stimulus money into education, when you put it into assets, it starts to grow. They lose track of it. You're still part of the system, but you're not as dumb. All right. AI enhanced financial tools. Been studying this a lot too. So this offers built-in AI agents for spending analysts, saving strategy, and investment alerts. We're working on this right now, guys. Building AI agents to manage your money.
Mhm.
You want the government to give you an agent to manage your money. Okay. So you telling me there's not going to be inherent biases in where the money goes? Of course they will. Two more points and I'm done. Cross-chain compatibility, right? So you could survive in a multi-chain world by bridging the top chains. And this is what this particular company is doing right now. So it's fast, it's low fees on swaps. This is that interoperability that Champ talks about. We're here, guys. We are here. I've been waiting for this a long time. Stablecoin as a service. So let companies and creators and even countries launch their own white label stablecoins powered by your tech with your KYC, your compliance, and your treasury management included. That's the part I think y'all fail to realize. We all can have our own stablecoin. Skyton Academy could be a stablecoin. They don't care. We just need to be compliant. And then we
Yep,
could use that in our ecosystem. We could then give you guys rewards. We can cut deals with the gym, the phone companies, and do all that other stuff. And it'd just be our own ecosystem. It wouldn't matter. But what's confusing people is like, damn, how's it going to be a whole bunch of dollars? Trust me, guys. There's a lot of verticals that are built off of that. Think larger.
yep.
All right. The last point is going to be regulatory confidence. So audits, disclosures, and licensing make them attractive to institutions. Long-term stability equal long-term profits. This is where the old money, you know, them dudes that's holding all the wealth, the boomers that won't die. Wait till their money goes in here. And I don't want y'all boomers to die, but some of y'all be tripping, right? Yeah, I know the ones, but there's some great ones that got good hearts, and you guys are gonna make uh excellent what do you call that when someone passes away and they're like overseeing you, ancestors.
Ancestor, yeah.
Y'all gonna go to war for us, but there's some boomers that they gonna wish death on us while they're gone too. I'm just being honest. That's all. And then our generation is gonna take over too. So I'm gonna be that OG, but I ain't gonna wish bad on people. I'm gonna
Yeah.
tip the scale when I get up there. Trust me on that. They're gonna be like, oh, this guy tripping. Yeah, so listen, so guys, the stable coin isn't just it's not just about market caps. All right. It's about power, it's about profit, it's about infrastructure control. And that's what you call the rails. That's the infrastructure. So just because it's a dollar, they got you focused on the word stable. Open it up a little bit. I just opened it up. You're welcome. What you got?
Listen,
Partnerships. Give that Arbitrum, give them partnerships, man.
so there's a couple. So you want to look out for Aave,
Wait, how
uh,
much were we down in the year in year to date? Did we find out?
to not from year to date, but from all time high. All time high was
Yeah.
$2.20. Was
Come on, bro.
and it's yeah, and it's at 34 cents right now.
Okay, so let's just do some math right now, guys. Let me just show you something, right? So let's say $1,000, right? $1,000. Where we at? 32 cents.
34.
I don't even know why I'm doing this calculator. I could either do that. All right, so just under 3,000 coins, right? For 1,000, right?
Yep.
34, 34,
Yep.
right?
34 cent.
Oh, it went up a little bit. All right, 2,941 coins. $2 and what?
20 cents.
There was no liquidity back then.
None.
Now the liquidity is about to pour in,
Yeah.
right? $2.24.
Mm-hmm. $2.20.
I'm tripping. $6,500 off 1,000. Guys, the liquidity is here. It's got the makings of like this could be $1 trillion in itself,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know where they rank right now, but the price of the action from the Robinhood hasn't moved in here yet because people were stuck on the EU situation. I'm not
Yeah. No.
realizing it's only because of Mika and stuff they're able to move a little bit faster there. But once the stablecoin regs come here, they're mirroring the same product.
100%. And it's ranked 47, right? So it's down from all time high. It's down 81%, right? And this kind of falls into the narrative, but it's like anytime that there's like a planned event or something that's planned and structured that comes out, the market normally sells off, right? You sell the news. But right now, this is a perfect buying opportunity for everybody who never was in. So
Right.
you're at 32 cents. This is it. And it's fluctuating. It's going from 32 to 34 while we're on the call. And so you guys couldn't see this, but Steve was messaging me in the background, right? So before he came on and was speaking, he came in, he blitzed, and he gave you guys Arbitrum, right? Now, because you guys were so gracious to wish me a happy birthday, of course I didn't come single-handed. I mean, without nothing in hand. I came bearing gifts. So inside of your membership, right? Inside cryptocurrency, we have these watch lists, right? These coin market cap watch lists. Now, the basis of the call today, right, was deeper. The structure was just having awareness, education, execution, right? Now, the actual gift is in the watch list. Now, he gave you guys Arbitrum already. I created what's called a Made in America watch list. All of those projects are already in there. So you got Arbitrum, you've got Sui, you've got Aave, you've got XRP, all of them, they're all in there, right? And I'm gonna keep adding to them, but I wanted to make sure you guys had something. But here's the thing: I want you guys to make sure you can access it via your actual platform. I don't want to keep giving you guys links. So whether you're new or existing, it's inside cryptocurrency. It's a discussion channel. In the post, it tells you Made in America watch list. Boom, there you go. All right. So I'm telling you, outside of Arbitrum, there's more that's in there. You guys got gems today. We might mess around and put this on Formless. Because this was a fire. This was a fire call. So I feel you on that one. We might put this one on Formless. That way everybody has it. All right. But and then we'll have splits for you guys. But listen, Steve crushed that. I'm glad he came in and he brought some extra fire to the call. But listen, you guys got the tools that you need. Let me make sure because he just kind of dropped. Let me make sure he's Steve, did you mean to drop off or did it just cut you off?
I come from my
They tried to cut for your neck, man.
yo.
Esteban got
Listen, this this one could for sure go on. I heard the formless part when I came on. This
mm-hmm.
one could for sure go on formless, guys. And listen, matter of fact, put a one in the chat if you want this on formless. And for those of you who don't know what formless is, you need to go to the and champ if you want to grab that link for them because we got a lot of newbies. So we've been playing around with the just the new creator environment, creator world, whatever they're coining it. So we have a platform that's blockchain enabled. It has smart contracts built in, and it allows you to put anything that you create. So it could be music, podcast, you name it, any sort of product, and you can go direct to consumer with no middleman. All right. So Formless takes 5%. The last video we put up, we did a 50-50 split. So Champ and I took 50% for the Academy. We gave 50%, and we allowed 25 people to purchase to be part of the revenue. So that means you get 2% off of every sale that comes in. All right. So granted, we made more money. Our YouTube situation is for every 1,000 views, we make $2. Right. So we're not even touching 1,000 views on certain things. We made over $30 with that video so far. So that means we would have had to surpass 15,000 YouTube views to see that sort of money. And it just wouldn't have happened. So that it didn't go to YouTube. It went directly to Formless. Mm-hmm. And it worked. So we were going to do things a little bit more exclusive with them and to allow you guys to be part of it. And then what happens? The 25 people were all supposed to promote it at the same time. Right. Because the more people that come in, of course, there's Academy students that came in that didn't see it and they paid 97 cents, which is not a big deal. We just have to get back to where there's value in content. Right. Because dealing with these exchanges and these middlemen and these marketplaces, they've devalued things because there's just so much content out there. But if we're giving you ways to make money in content, then of course monetize that sort of content if the information is that valuable. So Formless, we had the CEO Brandon on. We're building with him in the background. Great product. I just bought a Stacey Epps R&B with featuring Talib Kweli. I just bought in on that. I'm making 1%. So again, guys, being in cryptocurrency is one thing, understanding it is another thing, and then actually utilizing the technology is something totally different. And the fact that we could position ourselves so early when we start to see the projects, we already have an intimate look into what the overarching is, and then we could decide whether the project's a good project or not. But this is it, guys. I'm telling you, by 2026, this train, this year, we're going to see like prices you've never seen before. And when they cut that interest rate, the party's back on again because the printing machine's going to be turned on. And as they balloon the debt, guys, all they're doing is backing it against assets. They're increasing the price of the assets, which is going to be Bitcoin, XRP, you name it. Whatever their reserves are, they're going to increase those reserves for sure, whether it be through market manipulation, inviting world leaders to just put money into this situation, whatever it takes, they're going to make sure that they don't lose. So that was the part that Champ was giving you guys before. But I don't want to end around the situation because shit, we family.
Yep.
We family, we going direct on it. But I'm telling you, you lose your pants on something, you made the decision too. All right. So it still is how much you're willing to lose. Right. But I'm just telling you that the partnerships are here, the names are here. So it would have to take a wild effort. I can see it happening to Bitcoin, but some of these other protocols, the chain link.
Yep. Steve, you cut off. I don't know if you can hear.
A lot more projects though, Champ.
I can hear you. You went silent completely.
Oh, now they just messing with me.
Yeah.
No, I just said we just have to get back to the spot calls and people just need to beef their accounts up.
Yeah, no, definitely for sure. So
It's one thing to give it to them, it's another to like lay it out and then show them how we got to it, and then for you guys to kind of do it. So we'll always serve it up on a dish, but there's just too many students now. We actually have more new students than we do existing students.
Yep.
So
Sure.
we got to find a way to just bring this marriage together to make everybody caught up to speed. And there's a lot more crypto influencers out there too. So we just got to be careful with those guys lurking.
For sure, ladies and gents.
Nah, that was a good weave. That was a good weave. But that was like if I had to compare it, it was like Phil Jackson. And not everybody could fuck with Phil Jackson like that, right?
Yeah.
You got to be a special talent. So I had to kind of bring it down a little bit for some of my guys who just can't make the bulls. Y'all gonna be there. That's when we do the 1% situation. He goes dumb on there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of hard to be elusive because we want you guys to work towards it. But we giving out everything already. So it's just one of those like good shit on the connection point. But I feel like that Robin Hood situation did not price in at all. And I'm like,
No,
wow.
It didn't. Yeah, it actually priced against it, which is
Against
a
it.
benefit for
That's a good
everybody.
thing.
Right.
That's a good thing, guys.
Yep. So
You sell the news.
Yep. Absolutely. Buy the
You
rumors.
buy that fear.
Real
Now,
talk.
you definitely sell the news, guys. And when something doesn't pump because of news, that's a good thing. That's why I say the stock market's on borrowed time, because you even blow into that thing. It's like they don't know if it's coming or going.
Yeah.
Those investors are diamond hands. And honestly, the real money's left the stock market over 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Come on, listen. Who wants to these guys no longer have the competitive edge anymore. The bots, all the AI automation protocols that are in the stock market right now, they don't want to play this game with y'all no more. And that all started during the pandemic with the apes and
the Bored Ape Yacht Clubs. Yeah.
No, not those. The stock joints when they were calling the shorts, and these guys couldn't. To this day, I still don't know the AMC, GameStop.
Oh yeah.
Those apes, the first apes.
Play. Yeah.
Right. That's what started to tip the stock market a little bit, because it was like, yo, these kids are super smart and they're holding. Yep. So now if you're an institutional investor, you're not looking to play the stock market. You want to go somewhere where nobody knows about the game. Right? The stock market game is out. These guys, man, there's AI bots that come in and out of this stuff. People are like winning at high levels that was never been done before. But when it comes down to crypto, they're able to come in a new game and attach new verticals to it. and allow people to play catch up if they ever catch up. The only
Yeah,
difference is we got a seat at the table.
facts.
I'm telling you guys, I'm not going to play this game with them too long. I'm going to get in, I'm going to get out. Nah, this was a good one. This for sure can go on. And let's give them more of a split this time.
You want to go? Okay.
We'll,
All
we'll
right.
take 25%. We'll give them. I don't even need the money. If it's up to you, I'd give them 100%.
Cool. Let's
Listen,
do
we're
it.
going to give the community 100% on it. So we'll allow 50 people to get involved with it. If you're not one of the first 50, then just support it. And then send it to other people, right? We'll have more of these waves. Champ and I are not going to take $1 off of this thing.
Nope.
100% all community.
Yeah. And then great question in the chat. Somebody said, if we're new, how do we get some? What we're gonna
So
do.
why are you so late to the party? Unmute yourself. Nah, and I want answers.
Hold on.
I've been doing this 10 years and formerly 3.5 years at the Academy. Why are you so late?
Should I say I'm gonna unmute you? I'm gonna unmute you and bring you up.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
loud and clear.
You put me on the spot.
Nah, we family right now.
Family,
I
and
want to know where have you been at? Have you heard about crypto?
I just got access to you guys last week, and so
Okay. From where?
I did the summit on I think June 9th, and then
Okay.
then I went on vacation. I came back and I was trying to get access to all the 3 different
Did
forums.
we not tell you to take the summer off? Where'd you go?
You said don't take this, but just universal with the kids. Early summer trip so we can get back to work. So I'm back to work.
All right, so you're not going to take any more trips.
I don't have anything planned. And now that I'm hearing this information, it's time for me to put my head down because I don't understand all the jargon you was talking about. I was writing it down and I'm getting ready to go and finish my courses so I can get on
Does
board.
it sound smart at least?
Yes, it does. It does. I understand. I can follow you. I'm just
Okay.
not familiar with, the companies, all their technicals and how it all weaves together and the tokenization. I have all these terms written down. I'm going to get smart.
Okay, so let me ask you, what took you so long to get involved with cryptocurrency? Were you hearing it before us?
I've heard it before, but I was so focused on real estate and also I was doing Forex. I would wake up out of my bed and just hit the button and get involved in Forex.
Okay.
So I was just on a different wave. And so now I'm like, okay, this is something I need to do. And I still probably wouldn't have if I hadn't gone to the summit. I still would have been on that real estate tip and also dealing with I'm an insurance agent. So but yeah, this is interesting stuff.
How has real estate shifted for you in the last few years? Because I'm out the country with mine now. I just can't make sense of anything.
Oh, believe me, I'm so waiting for Storm to help me out with that whole international purchase because I've been talking about being an expat for 2 years. And my middle child will graduate next year. That's when I planned on leaving. But I don't know if that's far-fetched, but I'm gonna try to make it happen. So I'm all about trying to get out of this country as well.
And where's your Forex market? How's that market looking now?
I haven't done it in a while. I just went through a divorce. Shouldn't be saying that out loud, but yeah, my focus has been off.
That's good. That emotionally you're doing well. You made the right call because trading emotional or doing emotional times is never good.
I stopped everything.
Oh, you're smart. You got this though.
Yeah.
All right, you in the right group.
Back on. Thank you. Appreciate you
So
guys.
you had fun at Universal at least?
I did, yeah. So it was amazing. They have a new park called Epic Universe. And so we went to the 3rd park that they just created.
That's what they doing over there.
That's what they're doing. Look, I need to stop spending my money and make some more.
Listen, you're in the right place though. We'll figure it all out. Appreciate you though.
Okay. And so I can buy with Apple Pay, right? As long as you guys
Yeah,
provide.
you can buy with Apple Pay. You can purchase if you have. So what I would tell you guys to do is go to the site, go now and just set up your account, load it up with USDC, right? Put at least like $5 or $10 in there. So that way, anytime there's a drop, you're just ready to go. Because once we say go, I can't hold back the first 50 people for anybody. Because we're not even in on this. We're just giving up 100% of it. So if you load your wallet, you'll always be ready. And this is kind of the same thing with cryptocurrency. When you don't know how to move or you don't have things waiting on the sideline, I ran across something where I missed out on probably like 30K on a meme coin. I'm not promoting meme coins. I'm just telling you that I happened to look at my wallet one day. And it was 30,000 in it from this one meme coin. I didn't set no alerts, nothing. When I went to go exit the meme coin, I didn't have any Solana to cover the gas fees. this is me now. I always got Solana in the clip, but for whatever reason, I didn't have enough for the gas fees. By the time I got the gas fees, the money in there to cover it, I made $5,000 and lost out on 25. So that's how fast these markets move. Plus, you're going up against kids who have bots, so they're kind of sniping this thing left and right. Well, appreciate you showing up for the hot seat. Yeah, welcome to the Academy. Just take your time with it. You're not missing much. But we do need you to just kind of stay consistent, because what's going to happen is the information that you get, the tokenization, is going to show you how real estate is going to change. Right? So the old way of raising capital, the old way of, that old guard, that's done. That's done. The money's moving a lot faster now. So, and it's more relying on the people's bank now. So when you have access to billions of people who can invest in your vehicle through whatever blockchain or whatever marketplace you put it on, you can have instant liquidity from anybody that has a cell phone from all over the world at very low minimums, right? So just imagine 500,000 people give you $10. That's the type of time we on now. All right. What countries are you looking at? Top 2. Champ, unmute her. There you go.
Okay, he just unmuted me. So Panama, Costa Rica, Thailand, and then the island of Mauritius. I'm just doing some research still, but those are my 4.
You might not be old enough for Mauritius right now.
Oh, okay.
That's just a retirement place. So I think it's 55. Maybe you're not allowed to work there.
But I thought that you could go if you already had enough capital to sustain or whatever. Like if you make a certain amount, or if you can show a recurring
Not to stay
Okay.
in Mauritius. But that's a good retirement place. Stay on that and get the information. The other ones, what I'll tell you is look at the you got to kind of look at the pole shift with some of those countries, right? The ones that you named may not be around in the next couple of years. And I've talked to Stone about this too. This is when you look at the you got to look at the weather forecasts and things that are happening, right? You're starting to see volcanoes that had never erupted before erupting, massive flooding. You saw the earthquake in Thailand and stuff the other day. You got to watch a lot of that stuff. So we'll talk more about that. I'm starting the whole X-Pack Life series. Once I get to Colombia, that starts. We'll have a whole discussion channel about that.
Okay, and I'm not too far from 50. I only got a year and a half. I know I look.
Oh, you tripping? There's no way.
I am, yeah.
Oh man.
Right there.
That
Thank
good
you guys
blood
so
don't
much.
crack.
This is awesome. I'm just so excited. So
I appreciate you. What state you in?
I'm in Maryland.
Well, welcome again.
Okay, thank you.
So, Champ, you see how all this stuff is connecting dots, right? Because even for me, as a real estate professional who just didn't want to teach it anymore, is because I just felt like I'd be giving people like dated information at this point now. This is no matter what numbers I put in, it just wasn't making sense. And then when you go through the cost of material, the cost of labor, the labor shortage. Now, can you imagine having a project and they take all the Mexicans? What? That hard money wants is money.
Word.
All the Mexicans. Job sites shutting down. And that's part of the play too, because if you could effectively start to mess with builders, what happens? They start to default. Guess who picks up the properties? The institutions. Own nothing and be happy. They just took your labor force away from you. Figure out the biggest shortages of jobs right now are electricians. They need 1 million of them. Plumbers. 500,000 needed. So when they pulled those trades out to schools, they knew exactly what they were doing, because there's no robot that's going to take that stuff over right now. So what does it do for common guys like me and you? We don't own crews.
Yep.
We borrow them.
Mm-hmm.
They own crews. Y'all see where this mass destruction is going? So when I tell you, leave these guys alone, make the money in America, but send that stuff over abroad and let it grow and change the quality of life overnight, and then just clip your expenses at the end of the day. We're hiring cooks for our trip. When my family meets me down there in a couple of weeks, $15 a day will cover our meals. That's the labor part. The cost of food is cheap. So this person from 8 in the morning to 5 p.m. is going to make us 3 meals for $15.
Big difference.
Big difference, right? Yeah, my son's trainer's not even $15. He still ain't got a consistent jump shot. So I'm just telling you, man, the price of America and the price of things here have increased tremendously. So what Champs and I focus is going to be in the next couple months, especially this summer, is how we position people to get their wallets and everything in order. We're going to start giving more spot plays out to start connecting dots a little more clearly, faster, right? Because this thing is moving at the speed of light. Because I don't want to hear, God, I missed that one. I missed that one. So we've put out so much information, Champ, that's so buried now. I couldn't tell you when we did that. So we're going to start breaking down Chainlink. We'll start breaking down, the projects that we're talking about. We'll start breaking them down so you understand those industries. We're going to take the CoinMarketCap top list. We're going to start giving overviews on those industries, and we'll apply years to them. So you understand how this thing is going to change. The gaming sector is going to be huge, huge. The casinos, what?
Yeah.
You're going to be able to be at the casino 24/7 in a minute. And I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just telling you that if you want to benefit off of liquidity and casino coins, that's going to be a market I'm going to be locked up in. Not a user. Definitely not a user. An investor, an owner, a shareholder, someone with governance, meaning I could cast a vote on something. Now I'm hyped. This was a good one. Good setup.
That's it. Yes, sir.
100% formless. Get your stuff together. Go watch the replay. The Champ, you broke something down on how to fund it too. I gotta kind of think you had a video on it.
Yeah, I have one, but I probably have to do a voiceover to it so people can understand what it is. But it shows everything that I click to be able to get the splits.
But at the end of the day, you know what, guys? I don't really want to hold your hand. How easy was it, Champ?
Oh man, it's super easy. Super easy. Nobody should have
I'd
any
say just try it, guys. Put $5 in. We'll tell you when it's a go. Make sure you stay on your text messages and your emails, because when it's a go, it's a go.
Yeah.
We can't hold it back. We're not buying any one of those clips. So we're going to put 50 spots for 100%. That means every bit of dollar that comes in there is going to be split between 50 people who are going to have 100% ownership over this video on Formless.
Yeah.
And after you buy it, you could download the clip. You have ownership of it. Think about the last time you owned something. I swear everything's on lease right now. You could even lease food through Klarna. You could forepay a burrito. Now they checking credit.
Wow.
They checking credit now. We're clipped.
Mm-hmm.
Food? Yep. A meal for 6 months out? Get me out of here.
Yep. It's wild.
Yeah, I'm tripping.
Your countdown has begun.
They're gonna sell us air. Every time you breathe, it's gonna be a clip coming out of your wallet. In the form of carbon credits.
Carbon credits, yeah, that's it.
Nah, good shit on that. Good shit on that weave today, though.
Yeah.
But that triangle offense, man, that joint probably go over some heads. But it was eloquent.
Yeah.
Guys, ARB, please take it back to the academy. If you made a purchase on it, I want to know why you made the purchase, what drove you to it, what piece of information you heard that gave you conviction into buying something on that. And it's far from the all-time high right now. Everything's going to pass the all-time high. Because I guarantee you every single all-time high was around the same time. And I knew exactly what was happening at that time. And it wasn't no fucking news. All speculation. But right now, speculation, the days of speculation is out the door. It's happening.
Yeah. That's it.
Rocket knows. Rocket's in.
You want to know what's crazy? Zoe called it before you got on the call. Zoe was like, we got to put this on Formless. And then boom. It happens. What the community wants.
Look how smart the students are now.
Real talk.
And guys, if you just started with us, don't worry about it. Within a few short weeks, if you get through the 9, you'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? And then you start to get into some of the other things that we're doing. And then you trust me, by the end of summer, fall, you're going to be positioned well. Because one thing I can tell you is we're going to have a Black Swan event at some point this year. They're going to terrorize this market. Don't try to time it, because you might be asking yourself, so shit, why don't I wait for it? Because there won't be anything left for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you dollar cost average now. That's why you don't ever try to time a market, especially at these prices that you see right now. You just dollar cost average. If it drops any lower, you buy more. That's what dollar cost averaging means.
Thanks.
All right, so we're going up on formulas. Let's get it.
We going up. Let's go. Guys, enjoy yourselves. Be safe out there. Stay focused. We'll be on Formless. We'll make sure you guys get communications on that within the platform, and we'll add everybody. So, just be on the lookout for that. And that'll definitely come to everybody's inbox.
I gotta hear that outro, man. That ain't it.
With the one I did today?
I need an outro. You did it already?
Yeah. You remember I was done. Well, I was done. The next step was for me to give them Arbitrum, and I was gonna give them another sweet play. But then you came in and you did that. So I was already outro.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, nah, it's all good. That's why I had the watch list prepared for them. That was what it was going to. I was giving them a list of
Oh,
joints.
that's a bonus clip.
Yeah. So this is extra, but it's all good. It could all go.
All right. Damn.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Nah,
I'm
you
here
ain't
for the
mess up
outro.
nothing. Yeah, listen,
But I
guys.
ain't hear it. That's what I came here for.
All right, so I run it back. Um, let's go. So tonight, this has been your July 1st members only live call. Tonight was about three things. It was about knowledge, awareness, and execution. That's your final step, because knowing and seeing means nothing if you don't act. All right. This is going to conclude the call. This will be on Formless. We appreciate you guys. Stay sharp, stay informed, stay ahead, stay dangerous. Peace.
It's third quarter already. First day of third quarter.
Let's go. Let's go.
Wow.
July 1st. Let's go.
Good shit.
Yes,
I
sir.
got my outro. I'm out. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, bro. Good work.
All right.
This is going up on Formless, guys. Stay tuned.